Isn't there like some sort of existential day go through there? Now, if you're transferring to the downtown loop, wait one more stop. It's going to be a little bit easier for you. And if you want to just do the whole uptown loop again, for now, just stay on.
It's the Empire State Building making stops at Macy's, the Empire State, down by the Flatiron Building, down through Greenwich Village, Soho, eventually down to Ground Zero and to Battery Park. And then from there, we're going to be going up to the South Street Seaport, but with the Budweiser advertisement and the Chevrolet ad, the TDK advertisement. This is #1 Times Square. It's on top of this building every New Year's Eve that they drop the ball to bring in the new year. This has been a tradition here in New York City ever since New Year's Eve of 1904, when the New York Times moved into this building with a big celebration to ring in the new year. Ever since then, they've been ringing in the new year here in Times Square. Next stop will be actually right down by this building. We're going to come straight down this way. The Viacom building right there. This is where they do the Total Request Live show, right behind those window shades that say peace. And our stop is going to be on the right-hand side of the next block down by this older building in the 60s and 1920s. And this is going to be our next stop. Across the way, on the other side of Broadway over there, you see the ABC News window on Times Square right there. All right, that's much better. Thank you very much. So we're going to continue. Stop after the #2 stop on your green route, and where it says the Hard Rock Cafe, that's the marquee, the Paramount Theater, inside the Paramount Theater. In the late 1930s is where Frank Sinatra stood in front of the Tommy Dorsey Orchestra to become the first man of American song. To be here forever, they're arguing. Sure, so long as we're at a full stop. We're moving, so we're about to come to a stop. I'll tell you when it's okay. Okay, now you can come up. We're at a red light. And we'll come straight down this way. You see, this is where the Hard Rock Cafe is. That's the Paramount Theater. Inside the Paramount Theater is where Frank Sinatra stood in front of the Tommy Dorsey Orchestra to become the first man of American song back in the here in New York City, where people like Calvin Klein and Donna Karan and Ralph Lauren come every morning to design the styles the American public will be wearing.
After the Second World War, more than 50% of the clothing that was manufactured in the United States was manufactured here in the garment district of New York City. This is no longer true. This is no longer a manufacturing factories in these older buildings that you see on the left and the right-hand side of the bus. They're filled with designer showrooms and designer studios. Oftentimes, the designers invite the public up to their showrooms or studios when they have a sample sale or a public event of such kind. And down here on the left-hand side, you'll see the Fashion District information kiosk, a giant button with a needle going through it. This is where you will go to find out what's going on in the garment district on a daily basis that's offered to the public right there on the left. They tore down the structure in 1965, the tearing down